Remarkable work, Knight. The signal interceptor appears to be complete. Are you ready to put it to the test?
You sure Ingram knows what she's doing?
Proctor Ingram's managed to keep a 40,000... I'd say that earns her the benefit of the doubt. That being said, this is the first time we've attempted to directly adapt Institute technology. When we throw that switch, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. God willing, you'll end up inside the Institute, and the mission can continue.
Nothing's gonna stop me when I'm so close to the answers I'm looking for.
Eager to get inside, huh? Good. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. Once you've entered the Institute, we expect to lose contact, so it's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering.
By recruiting, you mean they forced her to join?
Being at war leaves little room for compassion. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause were instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland.
Sure.
We're fairly certain that her intent was to make...
I'm surprised that the Brotherhood let her go.
Had I been in command, I wouldn't have allowed it to happen. She was a valuable asset. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
What's this project that needs her attention?
Dr. Lee previously worked on a potent weapon for the Brotherhood of Steel. We'd like her to continue where she left off. That's all I can tell you. Listen to me, Knight. I'm well aware that you're risking your life going into the Institute blind. Just keep your mind on the mission, and don't let anything they say sway you from your duty. Good luck.
It was a stroke of genius to park the prison above the airport. I can't think of a better.
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go. Are you?
Let's do this.
Head up onto the platform. Are you in or are you out? Make up your mind. Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting the code now. Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference and ghosting. It's gonna take a minute or two to lock in. By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe, soldier.
wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Don't have the key.
Yes, I'm Shaun.
Oh, goddamn them. So many years stolen.
Who are you?
Shaun, where is everyone?
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Shaun, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh, shh. It'll be okay, Shaun. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Shaun. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew.
This is insane. All of it.
The degree of trauma you're experiencing right now is understandable. Please, just try to relax. I know this is all difficult to take in.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Shaun. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
Hell of a story. But I guess it does make sense.
I'm glad you're willing to accept the truth. It's quite encouraging. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever. So they followed the best.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in the... But then the Institute found me. After discovering records, I was exactly what they needed. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
What would you have me say? The world is a dangerous place? Although I think maybe it always was. It's just a bit more honest about it now. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
Can't pick this. What's going on here?
Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenge. Let's start anew. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Shaun. The real Shaun. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
Just... help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great... It's good to find... I am. Yes. It's true. In the vault. You had no...
Sure.
But then you learned that your son was no longer... Is it really? And here I...
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity, so they followed.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see. I am their father.
Shaun.
It really is. What else can I say to ease your mind?
I think I've heard enough for now.
Very well. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped, and now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you...
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assumed that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty
Greetings.
well.
As the
I can't
Institute's
argue with
requisition vendor,
Even so,
I can
I'm
provide
ready to see
supplies
the
for your
403
missions on the
roll out.
surface.
There we go.
How may I assist
All
you
set.
today?
Unit, you can return to duty.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Thanks again.
Of course. We're all looking
Hi, Doc.
forward to working.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us, if you don't mind my asking,
I guess I just...
that's a... Now,
Right.
as you might guess, we maintain there's a lot of machine... The work we do, so...
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Shaun's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you...
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%.
If you require maintenance, please
Also,
file a
if you
report with the
haven't patched
Facilities
your
Division.
navigation software,
Doctor.
the last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next black...
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
You're here. Glad you made it.
So much research.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3
You know I can't talk about that.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Safety first. Remember that.
Well, that was productive. If you ask me, we're only scratching the surface with the latest synths.
In case anyone didn't mention it, quiet time runs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait to see what you can do.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
I wasn't aware that I needed authorization.
Father may have given you the keys to the castle, but this is still my laboratory. If you plan to stay down here with us, you need to learn how things work.
Easy. I just want to talk.
About what? You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
Let's just say that you've regained the attention of a certain group that I represent.
Stop beating around the bush. It's obvious that you're from the Brotherhood of Steel. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
Why would we want you dead?
I did some pretty sensitive work for the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though Lyons let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much. That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
Are you kidding me? I am surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help? Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know. I'm certainly not going to put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
Father trusts me, and so should you.
You're wasting your breath. I'm a scientist, not a soldier. The Brotherhood desired my creations in order to destroy, to take control. I'm not interested in returning to that way of life.
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
I know this may come as a shock, but Dr. Virgil is still alive. I met him myself.
Oh, please. Do you really think a cheap tactic like that is going to work on someone like me? Stop trying to avoid the legwork by lying. Either you get me the evidence, or we have nothing else to talk about. Deal?
Deal.
All right. Dr. Virgil's lab was in the Biosciences Division. I can give you a code. I'd tell you to be quiet. And finally, now, for the sake of keeping up,
right.
I've been told to install a courser. You're to be given full access.
I don't...
If you... In case the... Speaking of...
Power armor is effective, sure. But it's hardly efficient.
I'm trying to learn chess. The computer always beats me.
Hey.
Why can't a synth be a person too? I don't really see the difference.
Is it true food supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
Scanning. Subject identified.
Sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine.
Good to see you.
274. Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else at one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now.
Excuse me, Doctor.
It's remarkable
Welcome.
that any child
So
can
good to have you
survive
here.
for so long up
Dr.
there, don't
Clayton
you think?
Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
I look forward to learning.
In that case, as our move to that, you probably...
Sounds like a waste of time to me.
It's just... Sometimes we I
doubt it. I just don't think I'd fit in.
It's a big decision, I know. But it's also a rare and important opportunity. In any case...
I'm good for now, thanks.
Take care, then.
Director Holdren seems very taken.
So you were there the day the bombs fell. That must have been terrifying.
You're looking for my mom or dad?
You know the protocol, sir.
Operating at full capacity.
Only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that
Welcome
I
to the
intend to speak to
Institute, sir.
Father about these unannounced security.
Greetings, sir.
Hello.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together?
What now?
Dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked for.
Excuse me.
Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us
Hey,
and
Doc.
pretty much all the
So.
other departments.
Here you are. Justin Ayo, acting director of this.
The directorate should take the synth escapes more seriously.
All this must be a little overwhelming for you.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
No problems here.
Good to hear. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
If the synths want to be free, you should let them.
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Very well.
Nothing to report, sir.
Mankind redefined.
Why can't a synth be a person too? I don't really see the difference.
People on the surface have got it pretty bad. Makes me thankful for being here.
Hello. Please ensure that your dietary requirements are being filled.
Sure, let's take a look.
Reaction to K-14. We'll start here. The dosage is much larger this time, and the side effects are likely to be more. Will there be any pain? I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still. And there. All done. You can return to your duties. And remember to record every symptom you experience.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject.
If you need medical attention,
hey,
see
pal.
Dr. Volker.
My daddy says your father's daddy, but he looks so much older than you.
Carry on, sir.
day.
I bet Dr. Thompson would love to take that apart. You get a look at the inner workings. Feels like this project has been going on for months.
So much research. So well done.
Requisition clearance granted. How may I help you?
Shaun, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues.
He's definitely impressive.
Yes, it's pushed our technology to the limit. We've gained some value. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
This is all... it's just too much. I just don't know anymore.
I understand. You've been through quite a lot. I wouldn't claim to know it.
Shaun.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved. Hello, Father. I hope your time in the Institute has been enjoyable.
step, sir.
Pinging remote units at 30-second intervals as requested.
System deltas at 100%. Secondary deltas standing by.
Attention. Tomorrow's tactical briefing has been postponed. A new time and date will be forthcoming.
Oh, man. I'm late for muster one more time. Captain Kells is gonna have me to 100... Man, you haven't lived until you've tipped a Brahmin with a vertibird. Now that's a challenge.
Paxton might appear compassionate, but I can assure you, the Institute will face his wrath. Have you ever fired a minigun? Chews through ferrules like paper.